Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 29, ending October 30th, 2020. This isn't an endorsement to purchase stocks that I've bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor, and I'm letting you watch me on my journey. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in correction. This turns off the buy signal for me. The S&P 500 index is back in what I'm calling the purple zone, between that solid green line I put on February 14th, 2020, and the dotted purple line I put on 7/24/2020. A month or so ago, it spent about 5 days there, and now it's come back to that area. Let's see if it can hold, or if it goes up or continues to fall. Here's a one-year chart of the S&P 500 that shows that this index has been down quite a bit this year. It was down as low as 2,200 and it closed this week at 3269. I lost quite a bit in my portfolio this week, almost $7,000. I'm calling this the walk of shame. The vertical red bar shows the close of my year 2 experiment, and the green shows the end of the first week of my year 3 experiment. After 2 years and 29 weeks, my $100,000 has grown to $149,770 versus the S&P 500 is up to $123,102. I'm calling it the walk of shame because back in August, I was up to $172,000 and now I'm only at about $150,000. So quite a drop from that high this year. And here's a breakdown of where I lost the money. Stocks that I still hold went down about $2,000 from last week to this week. And then stocks that I sold, those went down about $4,800 from last week to this week. The last line on this chart is showing the change. Weekly change for the S&P 500 was down negative 5.6% versus the Melissa method down negative 4.4%. And in the yellow down at the bottom, the S&P 500 for my experiment year, my year 3, is at 17.2% versus 3.5% for the Melissa method, which is just awful. Here's a list of all the stocks that I sold. I only had profit in 2 of them, my B1 of 4 and my B1 of sale. All the other ones I had a loss. It's so painful that so many of my stocks have sold and that I have so many losses. But I can't change the overall market, but I can reevaluate how I'm trading to see if any adjustments need to be made. This is I had 2 purchases in that. I had a gain on my B1 of 5.6% that I held for 3.5 weeks. And then I had a loss of almost 8% on my B2, which I had held only 1 week. Shift4 Payment sold on Monday, and that's the intersection of that black dot and the dashed yellow line that shows the day that I sold it, and the price is right around that dashed yellow line. NVIDIA, stock symbol NVDA. I held this stock just over 4 weeks and I lost 5.6%. Last week I asked if I should sell because the 8-day simple moving average, that pink line, was crossing below the 16-day simple moving average, that green line. I put a yellow arrow to show the intersection. The answer is yes, I should have sold. And as I reviewed the rest of my charts where I sold my stocks, I realized that I should be doing this all the time, looking for that cross, and that's my signal to get out. I can always buy back if the stock turns around. Advanced Micro Devices, stock symbol AMD. I held this for 4 weeks and I lost 8% on this. This is another stock that I should have sold when the 8-day simple moving average dropped below the 16-day simple moving average. TFI International, stock symbol TFII. I held this stock for 3.5 weeks and I lost 1.3%. Last week I was thinking of buying more, but the stock market fell apart on Monday and I sold this one right at the cross of the 8-day and the 16-day simple moving average. You can see that this stock continued to fall after I sold it and did close below its 50-day simple moving average, that red line. SailPoint Technologies, stock symbol SAIL. I had 2 buys in this. My B1 I held for 4.5 weeks and I had a gain of 1.3%. And my B2 I held for 3.5 weeks and I had an 8% loss. This is another stock that I should have sold when that 8-day simple moving average dropped below that 16-day simple moving average. West Pharmaceutical, stock symbol WST, yet another one where I should have sold at that intersection of the pink and the green line, the 8-day and the 16-day simple moving averages. I held this just about 4 weeks and I lost about 7%. All of that selling left me with just 2 stocks at the end of the week, Paycom and Veeva Systems. This is my current holding bar chart that has 1 bar for each week that I've held the stock. In the pink, you can see Paycom I've held for 4 weeks, and it is above that dashed black line, so I do have a profit in that. And Veeva I've held for 5 weeks. It's in the gray, and it's not down to that 9,200. That's my 8% floor, so no stock should be below that. Each week I review my charts and see if I should raise my floor. I reviewed my current holdings before I documented my sells, but after reviewing all of my sells, I see that I should have sold when that 8-day simple moving average crosses below that 16-day simple moving average. I'll take that into consideration when making my sell hold decisions in the upcoming week. Veeva Systems, stock symbol VEV. I left my floor at 8% on this one, but I should probably just sell it. I did want to see if it bounces back above that 50-day simple moving average, but a few days ago it did have that 8-day cross below that 16-day, so I should probably just get out of it. Last week I had a 5% gain in my B1, and now after 5 weeks I have a 4.2% loss in my B1, and my B2 sold. I held that one for 2.5 weeks and took almost an 8% loss. Paycom Software, stock symbol PAYC. This stock I have 2 purchases in. I have my B1 that I've held just about 4 weeks and I have a 6.6% gain. And my B2 I've held for 2.5 weeks and I have a 3.7% loss. I did move my floor up to that 31-day exponential moving average, that light blue line. And this chart definitely looks better than Veeva, but that pink line, the 8-day simple moving average, is just about to cross below that 16-day simple moving average. So maybe I should just dump this stock also. MarketSmith said it has earnings on November 4th, but Earnings Whisper says it's not until the 26th. So make sure you always check your sources. I take a look at my current dollar value gains and my weekly percentage change, and I sort them with the lowest value on the top. Veeva Systems, in the dollar gain, I have a $422 loss, and in Paycom, I have a $652 gain. And the weekly percentage change, both of these stocks had worse performance than the S&P 500, and Veeva hasn't beat it for 2 weeks. My industry and sector breakdown shows that I'm most heavily invested in cash. I have almost $124,000 in cash. And then my other sector is software with just about $26,000 in software stocks, with 2 purchases in Paycom and just 1 in Veeva. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.